This is a battle in round 1 of the random New Year's Flash tournament, where the factions are picked at random by the random number gods, also known as a random number generator. So, we have Blackfish Tully of the VLR clan coming up against Aggony1pain1Achilles commanding Baktria. So, Massagetae got the short end of the spear, lance, arrow in this matchup. Pike boxing is normally not allowed, but against the nomads, yep, it's entirely possible. Just have a look at the timer in this battle. The battle is 33 minutes long. And Baktria does something few other factions can. Baktria brings pike box plus horse archers. So two of the most annoying things in the entire game, horse archers and pike boxes. Thing is though, since this is played on Ultra, the box is going to be able to cover a larger area than if this was on a smaller unit size. So he's going to be cheeky as hell with his mercenary Scythian horse. To be honest, the noble horse archers should just rush in and destroy them. Also the mercenaries, let's see, we have mercenary Amazonian riders. They're going to wreck these guys at range because they have longer range. Then we have Steppe Noble Lancers, Saka Cataphracts, Steppe Lancers, Saka Armored Lancers. And it's weird because we saw Massagetae several times in this tournament. We did not see any of the other Steppe factions, I believe. So the thing for Massagetae to do now is probably just try to chip away, ignore the skirmishers. The pikes can't really move out of range, so firing diagonally down into the unshielded side of the pikemen should enable them to do a lot of damage to the pikes, not firing frontally, but firing into the unshielded side. And what that's going to do is it's going to necessitate that the box gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Eastern slingers are going to take fire for days from horse archers, so not the best idea to keep skirmishing there. And don't mind if I just fast forward here, because I am not going to be able to comment on 30 minutes of skirmishing in normal speed. So here you have it, you can see it for yourself. There we have the box. Here we have the horse archers running around and doing a bit of damage. Taking a bit of damage as well themselves. The pikemen haven't taken many casualties yet. The Persian light archers doing fine. So getting flanking shots off on the pikes would probably be ideal here. And he could do it from... It's hard to get an angle because Achilles is defending his pikes fairly well here, I'd say. But there is an opening to rush in, rush out, rush in, rush out. I think that's what Massagetae needs to do. Blackfish Tully, I believe it was Blackfish Tully. Blackfish Tully needs to rush in, shoot, out again, in, out again, in, out again. So a failed charge here, just a mass of dead horses. And here we are, moving in and out. Good idea. The steppe horse skirmishers are getting wrecked by the Scythian horse archers. So using his horse archers to good effect here in scaring away the enemy horse archers. Nicely done by Achilles. But the box is he's just standing there and protecting from all sides with skirmishers. But this means that units like this Baktria Royal is completely open to for example, Amazonian riders. So that might be a good idea, but getting the Baktria Royal off the field won't really help him if he can't break the box. So he really needs to start focusing on flanks and removing one pike unit at a time. The thing is that this box can still lose 2 pike units and be effective. The pikes can just close off here. So breaking a pike box as the nomads, with diligent skirmishing it can absolutely be done, but as the Massagetae it's going to be difficult. With the Royal Scythia it's much easier, but with Massagetae it's not easy. Can be done, but decidedly not easy. Especially not against Baktria, when there are annoying horse archers from Baktria just running around and trying to kite missiles. And they're doing that to some effect now, because every volley that doesn't hit pikemen is one step closer to victory for Achilles and Baktria. So it's very smart to have these to bait the arrows with the mercenary Scythian horse. Even though the mercenary Amazonian riders outrange them, having fire at will off, just moving them in and out of range, super smart, and it's going to use them to push out the mercenary Amazonian riders. So the Amazonian riders don't really know if the mercenary Scythian horse archers are going to just troll them or if they're going to fire. And here the mercenary Amazonian riders move in, they get off a volley, didn't really kill much, because they need to be super careful about these eastern slingers and the mercenary Syrian archers. They cannot engage Syrian archers at range. The pikemen are taking casualties, but not nearly quickly enough. Some nice skirmishing going on here. The pikes took a bit of damage. Scaled thorax hoplites of all things. And the scaled thorax hoplites look very nice. I absolutely love their armor. They would look cooler with the hoplon shields, and they would be better with the hoplon shields. Still a decent enough unit, I guess. Not great, but just decent. 55 health, 55 morale isn't great, but they are okay. Not good as mainline infantry. If they're used as mainline infantry, then Baktria needs to do a lot of work with the cavalry and with the elephant. So I wish there was like a 10 times speed, like fast forward 10 times. That would be something. Noble horse archers doing a lot of damage, taking a bit of damage themselves. Only some hit point damage for now. Their armor is going to help them for a while at least. Also 85 health. Not too shabby, but they are so expensive compared to the... And you know what I think about these units? They have shields on their backs to shield them from arrows. So these units should get, say something like 10% chance to block missiles from the back to represent the back shield that they're using. Would make them a bit more interesting in being able to block some missiles at least when running away, and it would give them some more armor from the back, which would be nice. They could do with that. Massagetae needs all the help that they can get. Like the Saka Noble Armored Lancers, only 63 charge bonus, and the Steppe Noble Lancers 76, so I don't really get what this is about. Why the Steppe Noble Lancers are better on the charge than the Saka Noble Armored Lancers. So it looks like Massagetae doesn't get a good angle here. The game just goes on and on, but the not a whole lot of skirmishing going on from either side. This is sort of a stalemate. I mean, Massagetae got the short end of the stick in this matchup because the Nomad faction is automatically attacker. It's up to the Nomad faction to break the box. If the box doesn't break, then well, too bad for the Nomad player. And that is the danger of the random factions, because if you're a Nomad player and you get the Massagetae, we saw the Massagetae manage to defeat the Parthian box, but that Parthian box did not have pikes, and pikes make all the difference. All the difference in the world. So, frontal charge against the Scaled Thorax Hoplites. So many... look at the Steppe Noble Lancers dismounting, desperately dismounting and trying to get in to destroy the pikes. The pikes are taking casualties frontally, but the Steppe Noble Lancers just got destroyed. So desperate measures here from Massagetae, or maybe it was just a miss micro. But yeah, this was not I guess this wasn't very fun for the Massagetae player. If this was me, I would be frustrated as hell. I still think he could have done a better job at nipping at the edges of the pike formation, but it's just super hard. Charging into the pikeman frontally, actually doing some damage with the Saka Noble Armored Lancers. Getting into the box, but it's just too late, because here we have the box reforming, and a lot of fire coming in from all sides against the Massagetae. So the box was able to reform into a smaller box. I can just imagine how frustrating this must be to see for the Massagetae player. He just broke a box only for Achilles to make another box. So sucks for Massagetae. Massagetae lost that. Did some nice work with some of the noble horse archers, but it's just not enough. The mercenary Syrian archers and the Persian light archers had a field day destroying cavalry here, and 100 kills on mercenary Scythian horse archers. Very nicely done by Achilles. By Achilles. Very nicely done by Achilles. So a super weird Bactrian build. I think Blackfish Tully could have done a better job in nipping at the buds, nipping at the edges of the pike formation. But even if he had done that, it would have been super hard, because the Baktria could just move up its mercenary Scythian horse. It could have its long range skirmishers in support of the pike edges. So, I mean, in this type of matchup, super hard. It can absolutely be done by Massagetae, but it's a big disadvantage. So although you got the short end of the lance, Blackfish Tully, I hope you had at least had some fun playing that battle. Just from my perspective, it did not look like a fun matchup for the Massagetae player. But still, conversely, if boxing was disallowed against nomad factions, then I guess it would be a super bad time for the other factions. If they only... It would just be a matter of time until they were surrounded and charged into oblivion, basically. So if redline camping and boxing isn't allowed against nomads, then the nomads have a huge advantage. If boxing is allowed against the nomads, boxes can be broken, but it's going to be difficult for the nomads against a player that knows how to box. And this box was a decent box from Achilles. It could have been broken, I think. But still, box with a lot of skirmishers, very hard to break, especially for Massagetae, because Massagetae has such crappy horse skirmishers. If something like six Amazonian noble women could have worked for breaking the box a lot better. Anyway, I'll stop blabbering. I believe this is the last game of the first round, so I'll take a break. Tomorrow I'll start uploading the games of round 2. Still random factions, still the New Year's Flash tournament, still strength and honor.